Hey everyone. Thanks so much for being here tonight. My name is Mark. I'm here with a charity called Luv Michael. Appreciate you all joining. Welcome to everyone. Thanks there, Sydney, for having us. National Society of High School Scholars has been just a wonderful partner for us. We've worked with thousands of NSHSS folks from around the country, and it's really an honor for me to be here tonight and get a chance to speak to you all about Love Michael and about our charity and how we've been working with now close to 50,000, a little over 50,000 volunteers from 61 countries. And Student volunteers and student service has been such an integral part of our mission. And so my plan for tonight is to take you through a little bit of our story and to present to you ways that you can actually earn your service hours with Love Michael. So I'm going to actually show you how the program works. We've got a little Q&A area for you so we can answer some questions. And I'm actually going to show you how, if anyone is interested, which we really hope you are, you can get involved right here on this call. We can show you how to actually get registered and get started. So I'm going to share my screen and walk you through a quick presentation about our charity. And Love Michael is a 501c3. We are a nonprofit. We've been working with the autistic community now since 2015. So 2025 is a very special year for us. It is our 10-year anniversary. And Love Michael is a charity that helps really create a vibrant world for adults on the autism spectrum. And some shots of our team. And part of what we really, are aiming to do is to provide what's often overlooked in the autism community is there's just not a whole lot of support once you get beyond childhood, and it is a really serious challenge. What I'm here to share with you is our program, which has just been incredibly successful, and it's a way for you to earn nationally recognized community service hours. You can earn up to 40 hours of service with us, and you can earn a certificate. We even have a way for you to earn yourselves a graduation cord and a letter of recommendation from our founder, which you can use for college applications. But our way of acknowledging you for participating in this program and for advocating for a really vulnerable community that I hope you'll see through this presentation that really does need your support. So to start things off, I would love to introduce you to two really special people. They're pictured on your screen, is the inspiration for all of what we do here at Love Michael, and that is Michael, and he's pictured with his mom, and that's our founder, Dr. Lisa Liberatore. And like many young adults on the autism spectrum, Michael faced some really big challenges as he was sort of aging out of high school. And it was everything from finding meaningful work to a home to a community. And maybe I guess, the thing that's always stayed with me is I hear so many parents say, for their autistic sons and daughters, they just said, I wish that my son or daughter had friends. And it gets to be a really lonely life after childhood for a lot of these folks. And Dr. Lisa saw this and wanted to do something about it. And the first thing that she started was the Love Michael Bakery. That's the beginnings of our charity work. We started the Love Michael Bakery back in 2015 because Michael happened to really like to cook. And as much as it was about creating jobs and offering employment, it was about connecting families and creating this sense of belonging. As we sort of started to evolve, and you'll hear this throughout the presentation, most of the folks that we work with at Love Michael are on the autism spectrum, and they are particularly high support needs, which just means that they will likely need somebody with them to support them 24 hours a day. So for most of our folks, very limited expressive language, some challenging behaviors. And so sharing that with you all because we did start as the Love Michael Bakery. We started actually with making Love Michael granola, and what we started to see was the process of making granola could be a bit overwhelming for some of our folks, overstimulating, right? A kitchen can be, it's bright lights, it can be loud. And so what we're really excited about is just this past year, we introduced the Love Michael friendship bracelet, and we sort of took it from the culinary side into the crafting side, and it's been remarkable. Our folks at Love Michael have all custom designed their own bead. So they pick two colors that mean something to them. And we create these cards, the Love Michael friendship bracelet, and they're one to wear and they're one to share. So our team of adults on the spectrum hand make the bead, hand bead the bracelets, and then we package these up. And when someone receives this, uh, our hope is that they will take one for themselves and then they'll gift it to someone else to sort of spread the message. And the cards are interactive. So if you can see me up there on your screen, there's a QR code. And when you scan that, you can come to our website, find the bead that you have, and read the story of the person that made it. And so it's really helping us to promote inclusivity and understanding, and these have been really wonderful. So sharing a bit more of our story is the parents started, really talking to one another. They all shared a common concern, common worry. And it was all about who was going to be there for their children when they couldn't be anymore. So, for so many families who have loved ones on the spectrum, who have high needs, the big concern is who's going to be there when the parents pass away. And the families were really troubled by this. And so, as much as work is an important thing, independent living beyond the lifetime of the parent became front and center for us at Love Michael. So in 2020, we expanded our vision and we actually launched Love Michael Homes. We currently operate 3 homes, and that's where Michael and 7 of his friends actually are all living independently. And our idea there was to be out of theory and into practice so that we could help other families. And something that we're really excited about is just this past September, we held our second annual Love Michael Homes conference. We had about 100 families come from around the country, see our model, and our goal was just for them to take that information back to their communities so that they could have a jump start on how to do this. So that brings me to what I'm here to talk to you all about, which is how critical our volunteer program has been to to our mission. Um, Much of the work that we do at Love Michael is focused on helping an individual on the spectrum, sort of prepare for the world. And there's another piece to that that our volunteers really step in and make happen. Our volunteers help educate others and prepare the world to welcome them. And that's a critical piece because people do not understand that autism doesn't end in childhood. For most of you here, even hearing the word, you probably thought about kids, but those kids grow up with autism. They don't grow out of it. And so it becomes really challenging for, especially because the services really change as you get older. There's just simply not enough opportunity. And we spend a lot of time always thinking about how to help someone on the spectrum sort of, understand how to fit into this world. We don't put a ton of time into having this world have an understanding of adults on the spectrum. And that's what we're here to ask of all of you as we present this opportunity. Your service work really helps balance that out. And it's really critical. For those of you who maybe don't know, autism is a natural variation of the human experience. It might affect how someone communicates or how they behave or how they perceive the world around them, but it doesn't tell you the whole story about the person. In fact, a really good example of that is, if Michael were here with me right now, he might have some trouble sort of, staying focused on a Zoom meeting. Um, and might have some challenges regulating. For a lot of our folks might have challenges just sort of regulating. They might need to get up and walk around. Um, and But what I found so interesting is Michael's this tremendous athlete. And I have video of Michael skiing like Black Diamond Mountain with no poles. And He's kind of weaving between all the people on the mountain, and none of those folks have any idea that autism is even present. And so, when you see something like it affects communication or behavior, how someone perceives the world around them, it doesn't tell you the whole story about the person. And so often, so many gifts just go overlooked or unnoticed, or simply folks don't have the chance to explore uh, the talents that they may have because of lack of opportunity. So, part of why we exist at Love Michael, there are a few really alarming statistics that I want to make you all aware of. So today, in most states, after 22 years old, 21 or 22, the state-funded services either end or they change drastically. And parents call that falling off the cliff. They had all this support when their kids were young, and then as they sort of age out, they really struggle to see what's available. So what ends up happening is a lot of these young men and women get pushed back into their family home if they're lucky enough to have that support system. And that's where you start to hear, loneliness and depression and isolation starts to set in. All this support when these young men and women were young, and now that's not there. So what are we seeing? A lot of depression. And as I mentioned earlier, it's just always heartbreaking to hear parents say, I just wish that my son or daughter could make friends and feel connected. Um, Alarming rates on unemployment, underemployment. And today it's impacting 1 in 36 kids. And so a lot of folks are, experiencing this situation. And I think it's notable to say that although diagnoses have broadened, it's called an autism spectrum. So there's varying degrees of support. At Love Michael, our focus is on uh, individuals who need 24/7 care, right? That's really where Love Michael is focusing their energy and our time. So, um, as I mentioned, most of the challenges that, for adults stem from people simply not seeing autism beyond childhood. I'm sure for many of you, before you got on this call, if you even see the word, you think about kids. It certainly was that way for me. Um, and but then you start to realize, we're adults much longer than we're children. And my dad used to say to me, bigger kids, bigger problems, right? So there's some bigger issues that are facing these young men and women and their families, particularly with what type of support system will we have when the parents can no longer be that support system? And that's where we need the whole community to come together. And that's why we've built this volunteer program the way that we've built it. And so I'd love to share with you a little bit about, how it all works. And I thought this was a really beautiful testimonial. And Ivan, he's become a friend of the program. He's a young man on the spectrum himself. He's actually an NSHSS student as well. And he did the program back in January. And he wrote this five-star review popped up for us. And he said, as an autistic person myself, I often feel alienated from my peers as they don't understand the struggles or what it's like being autistic or what autism is. And he says, I would recommend this program to anyone that wants to make a difference by improving the lives of autistic people. This program I see will definitely help people be more informed of autism, which in turn will help build understanding and empathy of autistic people. And that meant so much to us for, Ivan to not only successfully complete the program, but also to share his thoughts as someone on the spectrum. It was really beautiful, and we appreciated that so much. But this is the impact that you all can make. And it's been really beautiful for us to see the connections and the power that you all have. So I want to just take a moment to show you what our volunteer program is, with the absolute goal of can we inspire you and are you inspired to give this program a try, because it has tremendous meaning to our charity and our community. So, what I have on the screen for you right now is called the Love Michael Toolkit, and in it has the steps of the program of what we ask our volunteers to do. And so, if I can, I'll just take you through each step, just so you can see what it's all about. Um, we tried to be really thoughtful in how busy a student, especially a student of your caliber, and I can say now working with thousands of students from NSHSS, how incredibly impressed I am with all of you. You are really, really special young adults, and your contributions to this program have been incredible. But also understand that you're all busy, and you do a lot of really important things, and we want this to be one of those important things you do. But we also wanted to make it flexible for you. So what I'm going to show you is how this program works, but fully knowing that it can really fit into your demanding and busy lifestyle and still allow you to make a huge impact. So the toolkit that you'll receive, and I will put a link to it on the call um, tonight, will have a little recap of the Luv Michael story. And then it brings you into what we ask our volunteers to do and the benefits that you get for doing. So our volunteers essentially do three things. One, we ask you to be an advocate to your local representatives and to do some outreach on behalf of the autism community in your area. So we ask our volunteers to send 3 personalized emails to your local representatives. And those emails are advocating for better support for adults on the autism spectrum. We give you the tool to find them, and we give you the email to send. You can certainly customize it. The nature of the email is not confrontational in any way. It's actually very friendly. And it simply says to your local representatives, so your local politicians, it says, hey, as policies come across your desk, I just want to ask you to consider the impact that that has on adults on the spectrum in our area. And you let them know that you're working with the Luv Michael charity. And by sending that message, that allows you to advocate for your community so that when policies do come around, someone is hopefully thought, hey, will this have a negative or positive impact on adults on the spectrum in our community? So that's really, really important. And we've had thousands and thousands and thousands of these letters go out. We've received amazing responses from the governor of California and Michigan and the mayor of Tampa and representatives, and it's been really beautiful to see. And we, as a team, are also by your side if any of those folks respond back and you need help. Coming back with another response, we're there with you to support you doing that, and that's been really, really special. The second thing we ask you to do is some resource collection. So we ask you to identify and submit 3 local support resources for adults on the spectrum in your area. So we want to give you the opportunity to engage locally in your communities. There's 2 reasons we want you to do this resource collection. One, we have a database and we can provide that to other families should they need the help. But the second piece is so that you become aware of what is available or maybe what's not available in your area. So it's kind of twofold there. And this helps us crowdsource, but also helps you learn. The third piece is a really unique part of what we do. So we're a nonprofit. We always have to raise funds to keep the mission going. We're completely dependent upon our supporters and our donors. So we ask our volunteers to help us commit to raising $75 for the charity. And I want to show you why that piece is, and I'll tie it back, but there's something really very special about that piece. For our volunteers who do really well, which is a lot of them, anyone who raises $250 or more, we send you a graduation cord. And at $500, we send you a graduation cord and a personalized letter of recommendation. Those 3 things are what we ask of our volunteers, and then you earn your 40 service hours. So in the toolkit that you'll receive on this call, you're going to see each part of the program completely spelled out for you on what to do with links to, for instance, on the advocacy outreach piece, we use a tool called Common Cause. When you click that button, you put your zip code in, it will pull up all of your representatives, local, state, and federal, with all of their contact information. Then we give you the templated letter, and then you'll just take a screenshot of that letter and you'll submit that at the end when you're submitting for your hours. This task is broken down for you with a how-to guide both in text and a how-to video. The second thing we ask you to do is resource collection. This is incredibly simple. You're going to do a Google search for terms like autism support services near me or resources for adults on the spectrum in your city and state. For each resource, just find the name of the organization or service, the state, the zip code, and the website. At the end, you're going to submit those to us. And then the third piece is the fundraising part, which again is really simple. We have a technology that allows you all to have your own campaign page. A it's similar to a GoFundMe. So you each have your own unique link. And I want to just show you why this is really special. So in that link, you'll each have your own page. That page has a donate button on it. We give you a message to share. We always say drop that message in text. Text is the most powerful way to communicate for something like this. So we always say send it out to adults in your family, parents, guardians, aunts, uncles, grandparents. And the message talks about the service that you're doing and asks those folks if they would consider supporting you and the charity. But there's another piece to this because those donations actually create work for our team. When people donate to your campaign, that sends a signal back to us at Luv Michael. And then our team gets to handwrite a thank you to your donor. And then we hand make them the Luv Michael friendship bracelet. And we ship that directly to their house with information about how to be a better friend to the autism community. So there's a bunch of really cool things happening here. One, you're helping the charity carry its mission forward. Two, you're creating a meaningful job opportunity for someone on our team to create that package, to handwrite that card, to make that bracelet, to take it to the post office, to ship it out. And then a couple weeks later, the person that supported you feels really amazing when they receive this package and they see the bracelet and they see the handwritten note. It's just a really beautiful experience for them. And we think that from that moment forward, that person is just so much more likely to take a step towards this community. And in doing so, you help bring the world a little bit closer together. And I can tell you, when you have a loved one on the spectrum, one of the things that you're always, concerned about is how will the world perceive them. And when you go to a restaurant or you go to a movie theater, you're on an airplane, you kind of feel like there's, because people don't associate autism beyond childhood, and your loved one maybe not isn't the little kid anymore. You get some odd looks, or you feel like the world's kind of backing away, or sometimes people aren't all that kind. So we really believe that these moments for people to experience this, those folks who receive this are so much more likely to take a step towards this community. And that makes a big difference to not only the individuals, but also their families. And it just makes the world a much, much better place. So I'm going to pause for 1 second. I think that there are a couple questions. So it looked like someone asked what service activity will this information be posted on? So I'm going to show you actually how to get started right here. And Nikaya, where you can go to register for this, I'm going to actually walk you all through that process now. So these are really good questions. And I'm answering that one live. I'm answering them both live. Okay, great. So I want to just show you all the process to get started and invite you all to actually do that. So I'm going to put a link. The first thing I'm going to share with you is a link in the chat to create a campaign page. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And I'm going to show you the link that I put in the chat will take you to this form you see on the left side of your screen. If you fill that out and click create an account, you're going to get an email from our technology partner. It's the technology partner is Give Lively. So you'll get an email from Give Lively. There'll be a link in that email. Just click that link and log back in and you'll be on the team. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat, but I'm also going to put it up here on the screen. And I'm going to make sure that, you know what, let me just get out of the full screen for a second. Here we go. I'm going to drop that link in the chat, but it was only sending to the host and panelists. Okay, here we go. So you should see a link now in the chat. That's going to take you to the same place that this QR code is taking you to. And I'll give you all a moment to do that. So just a two-step process. If you click that link, create your account, look for an email from Give Lively, and that email will have a link in it. Just click it and log back in. And give you all a chance to register. And I'm actually going to give you um, the link to the toolkit next. So give you all a moment to do that. Oh, great. Looks like we got a lot of folks joining. Awesome. Oh, wow. Phenomenal. That's great. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you all so much for doing that. We just had like 10 people sign up just like that. That's great. Awesome. So there is a link in the chat for you. I'm going to give you all one more link, and that link, and by the way, keep your questions coming. If you have questions in there, happy to answer them. I'm going to give you a link to get the toolkit. I'm not sure if you're all aware, but there the internet's a little funny today. So if you have any trouble logging on, just give it a little bit of time. It'll come through for you. But I'm going to put one more link in the chat, and I'll put a QR code on the screen for those who are watching at home. But this is a link to get the toolkit, that document I was showing you before. And I'm going to put that link. Sorry about that. I'm going to put that link in the chat as well. Here you go. I'll give you a moment to click that link. That'll give you the toolkit. You can put your name and email in. Always recommend, if you'd like to get the information sent to you via text, drop your phone number in there. We only communicate with you about Luv Michael. We don't share this list with anyone. We protect our volunteers' info. It's only going to be, you only get messaging about Luv Michael and Luv Michael volunteering. So a lot of folks like the text message because it's just easier. But you'll get both email and text if you drop your cell phone in there as well. Awesome. I'm going to jump back over to the toolkit. And I'm going to show you that once you complete those 3 activities with us, it's time to submit to receive your hours. So how do you do that? Well, there's a submission link at the very bottom of the toolkit. Click that link, you fill it out, you answer a few questions. Our team reviews your work. For the letters, you take a screenshot of the letters, you'll upload them in the submission link. You'll also put up your resources. You'll put a link to your campaign page. If we always say to try to finish it within 2 weeks. We know life gets busy. If you need more time, just let us know. We're happy to extend for you. We're here to support you the whole time. So our information is there. And I also put in here some of the important facts. So in some of the facts that we had shared in the presentation. And then I think this is important too. So a rubric of skills gained through the Luv Michael volunteer program. So some of the things you're working on here are advocacy and communication skills, research and critical thinking, leadership and initiative, fundraising and marketing. I think the most important, empathy and advocacy awareness, digital literacy, time management are all things that, as you're maybe writing about this for your college apps. Those are all things that you can certainly reference here. Good question here. So it says, how does Love Michael help people on the autism spectrum grow more independent, have more opportunities? So many ways. So for most of our folks, they have something that's called a life plan, and they revisit that each year. So in that life plan, it talks about the areas that they might want to focus on. Someone might want to work on building social skills. Somebody might want to work on working independently. Some folks might want to work on getting over anxiety about going into the community. So each person that we work with at Love Michael has their own life plan and life goals, and our folks all have um, multiple what we call direct service providers, folks who work with them to build those skills. Love Michael helps to create the opportunities for them to practice those skills. So for instance, we operate about 17 classes a week in everything from dance and movement to yoga to mathematics to all these different things that individuals might need to work on, skills they need to work on. We also help create social experiences. So we do 3 dances a year. Love Michael presents. We're doing one next week for Halloween. We do one for Valentine's Day, and we do one in the summer. We do an event called Surfers Healing each year, and help to support them around the country as well. But those are events where we bring families together, and we give them a free day of surfing with professional surfers. And what's nice about that is all the families come to the beach, and because everybody is connected to autism, in a way, no one is. It just feels like a day at the beach, where for a lot of times with a family with a loved one on the spectrum, going to the beach can be really intimidating. But when everyone around you understands, it's a really beautiful, beautiful thing to see. So those are some of the ways that we work on that. We also have a board certified behavior analyst, Dr. Kim on staff as well, who's providing um, opportunities for independence to build, and that's really really important as well. We have 2 board certified behavior analysts with us, and a team. That's We're also connected to a local church. There has become so welcoming of our team, not in an interdenominational way, not about their faith. They're a Greek Orthodox church, but they just become a wonderful source of volunteers and inviting us into the community. So Love Michael sort of helps to open those doors. And then through advocacy, right? We never know who you as a volunteer are connected to. And we've seen some really amazing things where for a few years ago, someone connected us to someone who worked at Kohl's department store, and we ended up doing like some really amazing support webinars for employees of Kohl's department store who had loved ones on the spectrum, sort of helping them um, navigate where they were on that journey. So hopefully that answers your question. But those are certainly ways that we work with the community, and working with folks in about 61 countries right now, which is exciting. Um, Please keep questions coming. It's really awesome to see so many folks signing up. That is amazing. Um, I have a little video that's sort of it's kind of hot off the presses. So this is Dr. Lisa. She sent to me earlier today because we're working on an end of year um, thank you to our volunteers, and I just thought I would play it for you all. You'll be the first to see it, but I wanted to share it with you all because she talks a bit about as a mom, some of the things that it's been awesome to see with the help of volunteers like yourself. So I'm going to play that for y'all. I'm Dr. Lisa Liberatore. We are approaching the end of 2025 and 10 years at Love Michael. And it is a time for reflection and gratitude. Um, I just want to take a time out to thank the teenagers, particularly the teenagers across the country, thousands of you that have chosen Love Michael to be your community service project. I don't think anybody realizes
when they do this program, the impact they make. It causes such a ripple effect. You never know who you're going to reach that is touched by the story, and the story about what challenges autistic adults face and young adults face when they age out of the school system. um, Inevitably, people that you reach out to are touched, and many of them make a donation. And when they make a donation, as a token of our gratitude, they get one of our friendship bracelets. And the friendship bracelets are doing really well. We're getting a lot of great feedback. And I know our participants really enjoy writing a handwritten thank you card when somebody chooses their particular bracelet. Check it out on our website. And again, you'll hear more from us as we approach the end of the year. But thank you again. And reach out anytime we can be of help to you. Me personally, Lisa at lovemichael.org. Happy to take your questions, and wishing you and your family a wonderful holiday season.
So I thank you all so much for taking this time with us tonight. I'm going to leave you with one more video, and I'll keep answering questions. I think I got to the ones that were there already. But as you're out there, hopefully sharing this information with folks and making those connections, I think about, how impactful advocacy is and how powerful it can be. And so what I ask of all of you is, as you're, doing this program and reaching out to folks, just realize in the back of your mind that you're making connections to people, and those connections can turn into opportunities. And the video I'm going to share with you is our colleague Jonathan, and it was the day he got hired at Luv Michael, and it was almost 7 years ago. And just know that as you're doing this, you're making moments like this more possible for more folks.
So today, we would like to invite Stephen up to offer you a full uniform. Oh, really? Really? To get job as a sales ambassador.
Thanks, man. This is really happening.
This is really,
Yeah. This is not a dream, is it?
no.
Okay, thank you, Sarah.
Do you want me to pinch you so that you don't?
Hey, this is my first paycheck from Luv Michaels. I love you guys so much. Thank you very much.
So I hope tonight was informative for you all. Appreciate you once again for taking time to learn about our mission. Our future, when we look out there, is there's a lot of families to help. There's a lot of families who are, uh, you know, really struggling with what's going to be next for their loved ones, and it means a lot to us to know that even this call tonight, there's a few more folks out there who can be a friend, and will be a friend. So appreciate you all so much, and happy to take any additional questions. But thank you and welcome to the Luv Michael team. We appreciate you all.
Thank you, everyone.